Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books, from captivating narratives to insightful guides. Join us for discussions and summaries, sharing our thoughts and takeaways.
For sure.
Let's get reading.
Sounds good.
Today we're taking a deep dive into
Okay.
And So I Roar by Abi Daré.
Oh, interesting choice.
This novel isn't just a captivating story. It's a layered exploration of challenging themes,
Right.
like tradition, justice, and female empowerment, all set against the backdrop of a Nigerian village grappling with environmental issues.
I see.
It's a powerful story, and Daré doesn't shy away from complexity.
Definitely not. Right from the start, you're drawn into the lives of these characters who are caught between the weight of tradition and the yearning for something more.
Exactly. We meet Tia, a successful woman living in Lagos,
Okay.
who is pulled back to her village, Ikati, by a desperate plea.
Oh.
Her former housemaid, Adunni,
Right.
a bright and determined teenager,
That's-
is about to be forced into an arranged marriage, and Tia feels compelled to intervene.
Interesting. What's interesting here is that Tia's return to Ikati isn't just about rescuing Adunni.
I see.
It's also about confronting her own past, the ghosts that still haunt her from her time in the village.
And the village itself becomes a character in the story, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Definitely.
Ikati is struggling with drought,
Wow.
clinging to traditional beliefs that, while sometimes beautiful, can also be incredibly oppressive.
Absolutely. Daré paints a vivid picture of a community caught between the old ways and the encroaching forces of modernity.
Yeah.
You see this tension play out in the characters, particularly in the younger generation, like Adunni and her brother Caius, who dream of a different future.
We also meet Keek, the chief priest's wife, who is pregnant
Right.
and seems to be grappling with her own internal conflict.
I see.
She's caught between her duty to uphold tradition and a growing sense of unease
Okay.
about what's happening around her.
Keek's internal struggle is symbolic of the larger conflict at play in Ikati.
I see.
You see, the practice of child marriage is deeply ingrained in their culture.
Right.
And it's considered a way to appease the gods for things like the drought they're experiencing. But the consequences for young girls like Adunni are devastating.
The novel doesn't shy away from depicting those consequences.
Yeah, for sure.
Aduni's arranged marriage to a much older man named Morufu is a source of immense tension.
Oh, wow.
And when a dead body is discovered, suspicions and accusations of witchcraft start flying around.
Oh, that adds a whole other layer. The discovery of the body adds a layer of mystery and suspense to the story, but it also highlights the dangers that women face in a society where their voices are often silenced.
Yes.
Remember, in this context, accusations of witchcraft can be a way to control and punish women who challenge the status quo.
And speaking of challenging the status quo, Tia's arrival in Ikati throws everything into disarray. She's determined to get Adunni out of this situation, and she's not afraid to confront the village elders and their deeply held beliefs.
It's fascinating, isn't it? What's fascinating about Tia's character is that she represents a bridge between the two worlds. She's successful in Lagos,
Right.
but she's also deeply connected to Ikati and understands the complexities of its traditions.
I see.
This makes her a powerful force for change, but it also puts her at odds with those who cling to the old ways.
Then there's Zainab, this city girl who arrives in Ikati and is completely unprepared for the harsh realities of village life.
I bet.
Her story takes a surprising turn when we discover her connection to Hawa. The young girl Semi, the young chief, is expected to marry.
So Zainab's presence in Ikati disrupts the traditional social order in unexpected ways.
Okay.
Her outsider perspective allows Daré to explore the clash between urban and rural values
Yes.
and the challenges faced by those who try to navigate between these two worlds.
One of the things that struck me was the way Daré uses the ZZ show to give these girls a voice.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Remember, they're feeling isolated and trapped.
Right.
So they create this makeshift talk show as a way to cope and express themselves.
The ZZ show is more than just a coping mechanism, though. It's a powerful symbol of resilience and resistance. It shows how these girls, despite their circumstances, find a way to reclaim their narratives and create a space where they can speak freely.
And it's through their stories that the truth about what's happening in Ikati starts to unravel.
That's right.
This is where Iya, an elderly woman in the village, comes into play. She holds a crucial piece of the puzzle, a shocking truth about Aduni's parentage that changes everything.
Oh, wow. Aya's revelation is a turning point in the novel.
It is.
It not only sheds light on Adunni's past, but it also exposes the deep-seated secrets and lies that have been festering within the community for years.
For sure.
This revelation challenges the very foundation of the village's social structure and sets the stage for a dramatic confrontation.
And it's not just societal issues that Daré tackles.
Right.
She also weaves in the environmental challenges facing Ikari, the deforestation and drought that are having a devastating impact on their lives.
By connecting these environmental issues to the larger theme of global warming,
Yeah.
Daré highlights the interconnectedness of our world.
Right.
She shows how global forces can have very real and often tragic consequences for local communities.
For sure.
Particularly those who are already vulnerable.
And as if all of that wasn't enough, we then learn the truth about Tia's past, a hidden trauma that explains the lengths she went to protect her own child.
Wow.
This revelation adds a whole new layer of complexity to her character and her motivations.
Tia's past trauma is a powerful reminder of the cyclical nature of suffering and the long-lasting impact of societal injustice.
It is.
It also helps us understand her fierce determination to protect Adunni.
Right.
To break the cycle of pain and give her a chance at a brighter future.
This is where the novel really starts to build towards its climax.
Yeah.
With all these secrets revealed and tensions rising, the stage is set for a dramatic confrontation that will change Ikari forever.
Wow. Yeah, so much is coming to a head here. It really is. The tension just builds and builds as the day of the ritual sacrifice arrives.
Oh, yeah.
This is the culmination of everything. You know, it's like we're seeing that clash between tradition and modernity.
Right.
The fight for Adunni's future, the unveiling of Ikari's hidden truths, all of that.
And in this pivotal scene, Adunni, I mean, she began as such a timid girl.
Right.
She really finds her voice and roars.
Yes.
Her speech during the ritual, it's more than just a plea for mercy.
It really is.
It's a powerful indictment of all the injustices that are inflicted upon women in the name of tradition.
And what makes her speech so effective, what makes it really hit home, is that she doesn't just, like, reject tradition outright, you know?
Right, yeah.
She draws upon the village's own history. She reminds them of the values that once guided them. Values of compassion, community, and respect for life.
It's such a brilliant rhetorical strategy.
It really is.
By grounding her arguments in their shared past,
Yeah.
she's forcing them to confront how they've strayed from their own principles, and her courage in speaking truth to power, I mean, it's electrifying.
And then just when you think the tension can't go any higher, Adunni's biological father arrives, like out of the blue.
Oh, wow.
Throws another wrench into the already volatile situation.
This unexpected arrival, I mean, it adds such a layer of dramatic irony to the story.
It really does.
Here's Adunni fighting for her freedom.
Yes.
And suddenly, the man who could potentially change everything, who could change her fate, appears.
Just like that.
It makes you question everything, the past, the present, the future.
Yeah, it really highlights those ripple effects of secrets and hidden truths.
It does.
You know, the past doesn't stay buried. It has a way of, like, resurfacing and disrupting everything, forcing individuals and communities to grapple with the consequences of their choices.
So with all this chaos and uncertainty, how does Daré resolve this intricate web of conflict?
Well, it's not a simple resolution. It's not straightforward.
Right.
Just like life itself.
Yeah.
There are arrests signifying a potential shift in power within the village.
Right.
A glimmer of hope for a more just future.
But it's important to note that those arrests don't represent like a deal break from the past.
Definitely not. You know, those deep-seated systems of power and control don't simply vanish overnight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ending is hopeful, yes.
Right.
But it's also tinged with, I don't know, caution, acknowledging that long road ahead in dismantling these harmful practices.
Adunni gains her freedom. She gets the chance to pursue her dreams of education, a life beyond Ikari. Her journey, though, fraught with hardship, culminates in a sense of agency. You know, the knowledge that she has the power to shape her own destiny.
And while Adunni embarks on this new life, Tia, who is burdened by the truth of her own past, she begins a journey of healing. Her quest to find her lost daughter, it symbolizes that reckoning with the past, a search for closure and redemption.
The ending, with Adunni's bittersweet farewell to Ikari and her new life in Lagos, alongside Tia's visit to Boma's grave.
Yeah.
It evokes a sense of both closure and continuation.
It really does.
It acknowledges the pain and the loss that have shaped their lives, while also holding space for healing and the possibility of a brighter future.
What resonates deeply, I think, is that, and so Aurora doesn't offer like easy answers. It doesn't have simplistic solutions.
It doesn't.
It grapples with really complex issues, leaving the reader to ponder that enduring power of tradition, the fight for individual freedom, and the long road towards justice and equality.
And amidst all of this, Daré doesn't let us forget the environmental challenges that loom large,
Yeah, absolutely.
The drought, the deforestation, they aren't just background details. They're integral to the story.
Yes.
Reminding us of the interconnectedness of our world and the urgent need for action.
Absolutely. Daré so skillfully weaves those environmental themes into the narrative.
She does.
Showing how climate change exacerbates existing inequalities and disproportionately affects marginalized communities.
And so Aurora is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring strength of women, and the transformative potential of finding one's voice.
Yes, it is.
But it's also a stark reminder of the injustices that persist in our world, urging us to confront difficult truths and work towards a more just and equitable future.
It's a story that stays with you long after you finish reading it, you know?
It does.
It prompts reflection, and hopefully it inspires action.
I hope so.
It's a call to examine our own roles in perpetuating harmful systems, to challenge the status quo, and to use our voices to advocate for change.
You know, one of the things that really resonated with me was the recurring motif of motherhood throughout the story.
Oh, yeah.
We see it through Tia's fierce love for both Adunni and her own lost daughter, and through Adunni's complex relationship with her mother.
Right.
And even through Kike's journey into motherhood.
Daré's portrayal of motherhood is very nuanced and multifaceted.
It is.
You know, it challenges that idealized notion of motherhood, showing how it can be both a source of strength and profound vulnerability at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shaped by societal expectations and personal circumstances.
It's also a reminder that, motherhood doesn't exist in a vacuum.
For sure.
It's deeply intertwined with cultural norms, economic realities, and power dynamics.
Right.
In Ikari, motherhood is often linked to a woman's worth, right?
Definitely.
Her value determined by her ability to bear children, especially sons.
And that societal pressure to conform to those traditional roles, it can be so stifling.
It can.
Like we see with Adunni's mother, she internalizes those expectations and she struggles to reconcile them with her own desires.
But amidst these constraints, we also see moments of extraordinary maternal courage and resilience.
Oh, absolutely.
Tia's relentless pursuit of justice for Adunni, driven by a love that transcends blood ties.
Yeah.
Is such a testament to the depth of maternal instinct.
And even Kike, who is, bound by tradition and her role as the chief priest's wife, displays a quiet strength.
Yeah, she does.
As she navigates, the complexities of impending motherhood amidst a community in crisis.
Another key takeaway for me is the transformative power of education.
Especially for girls.
Especially for girls.
Right.
Adunni's unwavering desire to learn, to break free from the limitations imposed upon her, is a driving force throughout the novel.
Education for Adunni represents more than just, acquiring knowledge.
Right.
It's a pathway to agency, to self-determination.
Yes.
To a future where she can define her own destiny.
And her school uniform, it becomes a symbol of hope.
It does.
This tangible representation of her aspirations.
And her determination to pursue education, even when faced with those obstacles.
Yeah.
It speaks to the indomitable spirit of girls who dare to dream of a different world.
It really does.
The book's a powerful reminder that access to education, particularly for girls, it's not just about individual empowerment. It's a catalyst for social change.
It is.
For breaking cycles of poverty and inequality and for creating a more just and equitable society.
And, we can't forget that ever-present backdrop of environmental challenges.
We can't.
Daré doesn't shy away from depicting the devastating effects of deforestation and drought on the lives of the people in Ikari.
The parched earth, the dwindling crops, that constant fear of water scarcity.
It's always there.
It's not just a plot device, it's woven into the fabric of the story.
Yeah.
Shaping the characters' lives and highlighting that urgent need for climate action.
Daré's inclusion of these environmental themes, it adds such a layer of depth and complexity to the narrative.
It does.
Connecting those personal struggles to global issues and reminding us of our interconnectedness.
By portraying the impact of climate change on this local community,
Right.
Daré really personalizes a global crisis,
She does.
forcing us to confront that human cost of inaction and the urgent need for sustainable solutions.
And so Error is a story that challenges us to think critically, to question deeply held beliefs, and to confront uncomfortable truths. It's a story about resilience, the power of hope, and the enduring fight for justice and equality.
It really is. It's a story that lingers in your mind. It prompts introspection, hopefully inspiring action.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and sustainable world, a world where every girl like Adunni has the opportunity to roar.
That's all for this episode of the Bookworm Duo. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And don't forget to leave a review and share this episode with a friend.